I'm Alexis.
And I'm Tiffany, and we're the hosts of Legit KidLit, a video series where we get to see into the secret and silly lives of authors and illustrators.
Our first interview had so much fun in it that we had to make 2 interviews. So watch this one for a cookie face challenge face-off between Tiffany and Rajani, a baking session with Rajani and her daughter, and Rajani answers some readers' questions.
Take 2. All right. Okay, now we challenge you to face the cookie. Go.
Oh my god, my nose is like a problem here. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Come on, get down. Oh! So Manonia asks, what is my favorite book written by a person of color? That's a tough question because there are so many that are my favorites. I loved A Good Kind of Trouble by Lisa Ramay. She's got a new one out called Something to Say, which is also fantastic. I loved Sayantani Dasgupta's The Serpent's Secret and the whole series, in fact. That's just fantastic, really fun fantasy based on Bengali folk tales. I loved The Night Diary by Veera Hiranandani. It won a Newbery Honor a couple of years ago. And in terms of novels in verse, I just love so many of them. I love Elizabeth Acevedo's The Poet X, and also Clap When You Land, her new one. I love Nikki Grimes's memoir, Ordinary Hazards. I loved Jasmine Warga's Other Words for Home. Oh, and one more shout out to Carlos Hernandez and his wonderful fantasy, Sal and Gabby Break the Universe and Sal and Gabby Fix the Universe. Beth asks how I fit writing into my day. I have to say I don't have really a set schedule for writing. Sometimes I wake up early and write, but often waking up really early involves, that's the time that I have for exercise. Sometimes I write in the evening. I do think that the days that I'm not going into the office to see patients, those mornings I try and reserve for drafting new material, because I find that the later it gets in the day, the harder it is for me to draft. But basically, I fit in writing because I love it. So I think when you love something and you're kind of obsessed with it, you find a way to work it into your day, no matter what. Thanks for the question. Mela asks what I hope readers take from my stories and what my favorite parts to write were and why. So for Midsummer's Mayhem, I hope that readers take the idea that they should keep trying to pursue their dreams and do what they really want to do despite setbacks, and to really put their heart into whatever it is they are trying to create. And my favorite part of writing that story was all the food stuff. It was really, really fun to think about coming up with new recipes and also to describe food in a way that I hope people would want to eat it. For 7 Golden Rings, I think I also want people to think about persisting in the face of obstacles, and also that sometimes the thing that helps you succeed is not the thing that you thought you were good at, which I think is interesting. My favorite part of writing that story was tying the musical aspects of it to the math, which was really fun. And then in terms of Red, White, and Whole, I hope that people come away feeling like it's okay if there are parts of your life that seem to not fit together, and that all of those things are still the real you. And it's okay to be proud of where you're from, all the things that are about where you're from, whether it's your background or where you live or where you go to school. And my favorite parts, wow, I just have to tell you, I think that all of it was my favorite part. I loved writing in verse. It felt really cool and really it felt like I concentrated a story into as few words as possible, which is a lot of what we do in picture books as well, but to do a novel in that way was just particularly wonderful for me. Thanks for the question. So Angela asked whether I liked to bake as a child. I did like to bake, but I wasn't that good at baking, certainly not compared to Mimi. My love for baking things from scratch really grew after I was an adult, actually when I was in medical school. But I really love to bake now, and I spend a lot of time baking with my kids, actually. Okay, they are cool. Ready? Do you want to be on camera with me?
Sure.
All right, we'll do back to selfie. Okay, ready? Okay, here we go. Ready?
They're good.
Oh, really good.
A little bit underdone, but they're good.
No such thing as a little bit underdone. They're super yummy. Hooray! All right, hope you guys make them. If you make them, let me know. Bye.
Well, that wraps it up for part 2 of Rajani LaRocca's interview. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Tiffany, and we're signing out. Did I get everything?